You're learning JSP elements. How many categories of elements are there? 3. What are those? Scripting elements. Next, directives. Next, actions. So these are categories. JSP elements. JSP elements divided into 3 categories. Okay. How many scripting elements are there? 4. What are those? Scriptlets, declarations, expressions, and comments. Okay. 4 scripting elements are there: scriptlets, declarations, expressions, comments. And if you write a code in scriptlet where it comes in Solid, declaration where it comes in Solid, expression where it comes in Solid, you studied. Okay. Now with that we can write programs. I'll open Eclipse. Say scriptlets, 2 syntaxes you have seen. One syntax is this one. One more syntax is JSP colon scriptlet. And JSP colon scriptlet close. Declarations. This is one syntax. One more syntax, JSP colon declaration. JSP colon declaration. Expression syntax, this is one syntax. One more syntax, JSP colon expression. Comments syntax. We have only one syntax. Like this. Okay. See, if you want to write instance variable, which element required? Declaration required. If you want to write class variable, declaration. If you want to write local variable, scriptlet. If you want to write method, declaration. If you want to write member class, declaration. Static member class, declaration. Local class, scriptlet. Okay. Like this, depends upon your application requirement, you can select. Okay. Now, yesterday you have seen this one. This one, different types you can write. Say, date class object. Date class object we created. Java.util.date. With scriptlet we created. If we create scriptlet, it is again and again executed. Latest time comes. Okay. Now, like this you have seen. Java.util.date. D equal to new java.util.date. Like this you have seen. After creating object, if you want to display system time, you can display different types. You can display. You have seen this one yesterday with expressions. You have seen d dot get hours. Okay, like this colon symbol. D dot get minutes. Colon symbol. D dot gets seconds. Okay, like this you have seen. So like this you have seen, but one more way possible, one more way, what you can do, see, this complete code you can write in scriptlet, out.println d dot get hours, after that concatenation d dot get minutes, again concatenation d dot get seconds. It is also valid. So like this also you can write. Okay, here this is, it comes under out.print, after that colon with HTML displayed, it is again out.print JSP, again HTML, out.print JSP, but here only I written out.println, like this also valid. So you can display system time like this also, you can display system time like this also, both are valid. Otherwise you can store in variable, you can write one more way also. See, you can store in one variable, integer x equal to d dot get hours. Okay, again integer y equal to d dot get minutes, integer z equal to d dot get seconds. You can write in this scriptlet only, out dot println x plus colon plus y plus colon z, like this also you can write, no, one more way. So creating object this one only, but calling method like this possible, like this possible, like this possible, all are valid. Right, this one, these all are valid. So you can display system time, this type also, this type also, this type also, all are valid. Is it over? Say it is expression here, this colon printed with HTML. Here again expression JSP, again HTML, again expression JSP. But this is totally JSP. Here also totally JSP. Like this also valid, like this also valid, like this also valid. Whichever you feel comfortable, that is you can use. All are same, no change. Okay. Now you have seen first program plain text you have seen. Second program HTML text you have seen. Okay. Third program counting number of views. This fourth program system time. Okay. Now I want to display multiplication table. Suppose 1 minute. I want to display multiplication table like this. Like 5 into 1 equal to 5. Like this. Like this I want to display. For displaying this one, table tags required in HTML. HTML table tags required. This is one row. So you have to create table tag. Again one row tr tag. In that this is one cell td. Again td. One more td. Like this 5 tds. Then one row will finish. Again second row. Again same 5 tags. Okay. But suppose 100 times required. Then 100 times you have to write in HTML. But in JSP we can write loops. In HTML no loops. In JSP how to write? You observe. Which element required? You observe. JSP, right click, new JSP file. Suppose table.jsp. Next, finish. Now you observe, if you want to display in HTML, BG color, suppose yellow, text color blue. If it is HTML, table open, table close. Suppose table border 20 pixels. This is one table created. In this table, first row, okay, tr close. In a first row, one cell td 5. Next td into td close, td 1, td close, td equal to td close 5. Now like this, if I execute, see how it will display with HTML. This is so one table created, in that one row created, 5 cells created, it is displayed. Table.jsp. See, like this displayed. 5 into 1 equal to 5. But like this, suppose 100 times required. Then 100 rows, that means 100 times you have to write in HTML. Because in HTML, any loop is there? No loops, no condition, no logic, nothing. Okay, only tags attributes. But this code you can write in a for loop. This code you can write in a for loop. If you want to write a for loop, which tag required? Which element required? Scriptlet or declaration or expression? Which one? Scriptlet. So here I'll start scriptlet. Okay. Here I'll start scriptlet for loop integer I equal to 1 I less than or equal to 100, I plus plus. Okay. For loop open, here for loop close, and scriptlet close. But if I write like this, it is not valid. See, you are getting errors, no? Okay. Suppose here scriptlet started, scriptlet closed. Here actually what you have to do, scriptlet you have to close here. Here one more scriptlet you can write like this. You observe, valid. For loop opening purpose, one scriptlet. For loop closing purpose, one more scriptlet. But actually one scriptlet only you can write. But like this HTML code you cannot write. HTML code in a Servlet, how will write? HTML code if you want to write in a Servlet, how will write? Print writer println. This code we have to write in a out.println, then valid. But directly HTML if you write, error. So here scriptlet started, nothing but JSP started. Then this totally JSP style only you have to write. Java style only you have to write. But directly HTML if you want to write, HTML should be outside the JSP. That is the reason what I'll do. Scriptlet I'll close here, and this scriptlet I'll open here. Then what will happen is, for opening for loop, for writing for loop, this is one scriptlet. For closing for loop, this is one scriptlet. This is HTML. Again, wherever Java required, wherever Java code required, there you can write JSP. Suppose here one place I, but I if you write, I only printed because that is HTML now. If you want to print I value, scriptlet required or declaration required or expression required? Scriptlet also possible, expression also possible, declaration not possible. So expression, it is better know directly that I value comes inside the print. It is better no? Now it is nothing but out.print I value printed. Same style. Here 5 into I. Here also you can write like this. That's it, over. Now here for loop started, it is JSP. Here for loop terminated, it is JSP. Here I value JSP, 5 into I JSP, remaining HTML. Now this HTML code also inside the for loop only. That's what this part is executed 100 times. See, right click, run on server, save. Table.jsp. See, 100 times. 5 into 1 equal to 5, 5 into 2 equal to 10. Like this, 100 times. See, I written this code only. This is converted into Servlet by JSP engine, compiled by Java compiler, executed by JRE, then output captured like HTML. That HTML code passed to browser. Then browser receives HTML, executes. Then we got an output. See, if you right click, if you click on view page source, HTML, 100 times. 100 times generated by Java compiler, Java runtime environment. Output captured like HTML. JSP program runs in server or browser? Server. HTML, browser. Servlet, server. So actually JSP, if you write, it is converted into Servlet. Servlet only executed. Actually JSP is not executed. Server doesn't know JSP. Server knows Servlet. but we are writing JSP. Who will convert JSP into a solid? JSP engine. So it last backend JSP program not executed, solid program executed, but JSP converted into solid, that solid executed. So with that you are getting output. Okay, write this program also. So whether scriptlet required or declaration required or expression required, you have to select properly. Oh, is it over? See, here for loop opened, for that one scriptlet, for loop closed, one more scriptlet, so one more scriptlet. Here expression for printing I value. Here 5 into I expression. If I don't write here JSP, you will get a output I only. I only output comes. Here 5 into I only output comes. If I remove this JSP code, it is valid only, no error. See, you are not getting error. But problem is as it is printed. Now see, as it is printed. This I only printed, here 5 into I only printed. It is no error. Because HTML format printed. HTML it will understand like that only as it is printed. See, output I. 5 into I. I value not printed. I only printed. 5 into I only printed. Okay. That is the reason it should be expression. Otherwise, you can display like this. Again, scriptlet out.println I. it is also valid. It is also valid. But instead of this one, that is better, no? Here yourself you have to write out.println, but there out.print automatically comes. So it is also valid. See, so now you'll get a I value. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. See, okay, this is I didn't write. That's what 5 into I printed. So here also you can write out.println scriptlet out.println 5 into I. Okay, here I printed, here 5 into I printed. So here it is JSP now. That's what value printed. Instead of this expression better. Okay, like this you can write JSP programs. Now you studied 3 scriptlet, declaration, express, comment is nothing. Now these 3 elements you studied: scriptlets, declarations, expressions. Okay, now we created object like this. Okay, but if you want to import the package, we require directives. Next heading, directives. There are 3 directives in JSP. First one, page directive. Second one, include directive. Third one, tag lib directive. There are 3 directives in JSP. First one, page directive. Second one, include directive. Third one, tag lib directive. There are 3 directives in JSP. First one, page directive. Second one, include directive. Third one, tag lib directive. First one, page directive. Syntax. Page, here we can write attributes. It symbol, compulsory it symbol. Here we can write attributes. It's just like a HTML type. There are 3 directives in JSP. First one, page directive. Second one, include directive. Third one, tag lib directive. Here, attributes. This syntax for page directive here depends upon attribute. I'll give you notes, because page directive common 10 attributes are there. 10 attributes. See, here less than, percentile, at symbol. All directives starts with at symbol. Page is there, page. Include is there, include. But small letters only you have to write. It is syntax. Like Java is the case sensitive. JSP also Java. So case sensitive. So you must write like this only. Attributes I'll give. First attribute. Next heading, attributes. First attribute, import, equal to. Here you can write packages. packages, classes, interfaces, like this. Import equal to, you can write package, you can write classes, you can write interfaces, you can write. Import equal to packages, classes, interfaces. Here, the following packages, note on, the following packages are implicitly imported. In JSP. The following packages are implicitly imported in JSP. First one, java.lang. Second one, jakarta.soulet. Third one, jakarta.soulet.hdp. Fourth one, jakarta.soulet.jsp. The following packages are implicitly imported in JSP. So other than these four, if you want to import, then you have to write import attribute. How to use, I'll show you. Examples. Say if you want to import util package, you can write like this: page import equal to java.util.star. Like this. That is syntax you must follow. So less than percentile at symbol space page space import equal to java.util.star. Okay. Suppose if you want to import more than one package, you should not write import keyword 2 times. You should write comma like this, java.sql. But you should not write import attribute 2 times. 1 time only you write. It is JSP. JSP new style is there. So java.util.star, comma, java.sql.star. Like this you have to write. If you want to import one particular class, you can. Page import equal to java.util.date. Double quotes compulsory. So if you want to import, you can do like this. So java.util.star. Here java.util.star, comma, java.sql.star. But you should not write import 2 times. Import only 1 time. After importing one package, comma, write it one more package. Okay. One class if you want to import like this. 2 classes if you want to write, comma, one more class. Okay. So 1 package you can import like this. 2 packages, 3 packages with comma. 1 class like this. Many classes, just use comma, one more class. Okay. This is first attribute. So this is first attribute, import. Import you should write in the page. Second attribute, language. Language equal to here Java. It's a default. Java. It is a default. So language equal to Java, no need to write. By default, Java only. So in future, JSP may supports other languages. In that situation, language equal to that language we have tried. Suppose ASP is there, active server payers. It supports C# also, it supports VB script also. At the time, they'll write language equal to VB script, language equal to C#. But JSP supports only Java, that too it is default. No need to write. So this attribute is not required. In future, JSP may supports other language. In that situation, language equal to that language we have to write. Okay. Third one, buffer equal to, you can specify the size. Here 8 KB, 16 KB, like that they can specify. 8 KB, 16 KB, 32 KB. Like this, you can specify. 8 kilobytes, 16 kilobytes, 32 kilobytes buffer. Buffer memory. That much memory allocated in your application. Whatever you specified. So buffer equal to 8 KB. For your application, 8 KB memory allocated. 16 KB if you write, 16 kilobytes memory allocated. 32 KB if you write, 32 kilobytes allocated. Okay. Auto flush. Here F capital. Auto flush equal to here by default true will be there. True or false we can write. By default true will be there. It is automatically flushed. True or false. True is a default. So automatically data flushed. Suppose your application occupied 16 KB, you return 16 kilobytes memory allocated in RAM. Say 16 KB filled. This data flushed. Again next 16 KB it will take. Again flushed. Like that it works. Even your application requires 200 MB also, it will allocate 16 KB only. With that only it will manage. First 16 KB it will take, it will print. Again next 16 KB it will print. Like that it works. Even your application requires more than this also, it will occupy only this one. With this only automatically data flushed. Here what is the purpose of this one is, if you want to utilize buffer memory efficiently, RAM memory, in that situation we use this. In that situation we use. So these two attributes to manage buffer memory efficiently. Write it. The above two attributes are used to manage buffer memory efficiently. The above two attributes are used to manage buffer memory efficiently. The above two attributes are used to manage buffer memory efficiently. Say buffer memory nothing but RAM memory. Say here already 4 applications are running. One is Zoom software, one is Notepad, one is Eclipse, one is browser. What operating system will do? It allocates some memory for Zoom software. It allocates the memory for Notepad. It allocates the memory to Eclipse. It allocates the memory to browser. Like memory allocated by operating system for every application. In a JSP program, buffer equal to 16 KB, 32 KB. If you write that much memory only allocated. So if the buffer memory, if you want to manage properly, if you want to utilize efficiently, in this situation, we can use these two. Nowadays, we are using 64 GB RAM also, 128 GB RAM also. That is available. So that's what, this is not much important. If RAM is less, applications are more if you open. In that situation, it will be useful. Okay. Now, fifth one is error page. E capital, P capital. Write clearly. Is error page. Here, true or false. I'll explain this one with example. True or false. False is a default. Here, false is a default. Here is error page. Capital E, capital P. It should be capital E, it should be capital P. Is error page. E capital, P capital. Is it over? Now, error page. Here, URL of an error page. URL of an error page. URL of an error page. So is error page equal to true or false? Error page equal to one URL of an error page, you are right. I'll show you with program example. So it is nothing but exception handling mechanism. Say for example, it's a demo.jsp. It's on program. In this program, I'll write like this. I'll explain. Page error page equal to error.jsp. Suppose like this, I'll write. And some other code I'll write in this program. This is demo.jsp. It is nothing but task code. It is nothing but task code. Okay. Now, what I write and say, page, it is an attribute, directive. In this directive, error page is an attribute. It is a value of URL of error page. So it is syntax for page directive. Error page equal to error.jsp. Here, one more program I'll write. This file name should be there. Suppose this file name, error.jsp. We'll write. Now, here what we'll do is, it is task page. It is error message purpose prepared. So this task is going to be executed. If the task is executed successfully, this output displayed. While executing task, if any problem occurred, then error page equal to error.jsp. Control jumps to this program. Now it is error page, it is task page, but this is your right here. Is error page equal to true? Because by default false. By default false. False. If it is false, no need to write. It is user friendly error message. user friendly error message. You observe these two programs will copy in server. These two programs will copy in server. This program first executed. While executing, if any exception occurs, control jumps to this program. This error message displayed. Now, just now I given attributes. Is error page. Two attributes I given. Is error page equal to true or false? Which is default? False is a default. Is it error page? Is it error page? No. It is not error page. False. That is no need to write because it is not error page. Is it error page? Yes. That's by default is false. That is the reason true you have to write. This is error message purpose only prepared. It is error page. True. It is not error page. False. In a task program, this attribute you have to write. In a error message program, this attribute you have to write. Now, both the programs will deploy in server. First, this program executed. If this program executed successfully, this program output appears. While executing this program, if any exception occurred, control jumps to this program and this program output displayed. What will display? User friendly error message. It is nothing but this program is try block, this program is catch block. In try block, if any exception occurred, what will happen? Control jumps to catch block. This is like a try block, this is like a catch block. So what you can do, this one message, you'll write here, suppose temporarily out of service, you'll write 100 JSPs also, same message you can display. In every JSP, you can write this line. Whenever exception occurred, control jumps to this program. This error message displayed. That purpose, this one. Example, note. Example, write this one. In the above example, error.jsp program executed. Whenever exception occurs, in a demo.jsp. So if exception occurs, then only error.jsp executed. So for every task page, you can write like this. In any page exception occurs, control jumps here, this output displayed. One error message you can prepare for all. That error message is going to be displayed. Okay. In the above example, error.jsp program executed whenever exception occurs in a demo.jsp. So this program is executed whenever exception occurs in this program. Okay. Is it over? This is the concept of is error page. Okay. Next, seventh one, content type. Here MIME type we can specify. MIME type. What is MIME full form? MIME, M-I-M-E. Solid site or no? Which is default MIME type at least? Text by HTML. Multi-purpose internet mail extensions. Default MIME type is like list of MIME types. Multi-purpose internet mail extensions. List of MIME types. Text by HTML, text by PDF, text by XML, image by JPG. These are MIME types. Like application by MS Word, application by vnd.ms-excel, list of MIME types, multi-purpose internet mail extensions. So these are MIME types. It's a default MIME types. So if you want to specify the MIME type, you can use. Text by HTML is a default MIME type. Whichever MIME type you want, that is you can specify. Is it over? Say example like page directive. After this, content type equal to application by MS Word. Like this. Then output is going to be displayed in MS Word. You studied in Solids. Over. So how many attribute completed? 7. Eighth one. Session equal to here true or false. By default true. It is default. Session equal to true or false. Default is true. Session equal to true or false. True is default. So by default in every program session created, and with that session and implicit object session is that is you can access here. And if you write false, session is not created, then you cannot access session object. So example, if you write like this, page session equal to false. It will not create session ID. It will not create session ID. And it will not allow to access session ID, session object. It will not create session ID and it will not allow to access implicit session object. So 9 objects are there, no? 9 implicit object references. If you write like this, in your application, session is not created. And also that implicit session object you cannot access. You studied in Solids how to create session. Which method you have to call? Session. Get session. The method in which interface? HTTP Solid request. So we are writing like this. Request dot get session. Okay. Then session ID created. Session ID created. Here HS session reference. With this, you can call get ID, get last access time, get set max inactive interval, get max inactive interval. These methods are there, no? Those all you can access. But if you write like this, you cannot access session. If you don't write this one, session ID created. That means by default true. By default true is there. Session created. In every program, session object directly you can access. So if you want to print time interval, you can write in JSP. You can write like this: session dot get max inactive interval. Like this you can write. You can also write by default session dot get ID. You can also write session dot get ID, get lost access at time. This is all possible. But if you write like this, not possible. These are not possible. Okay, that implicit session also you cannot access. So once if you write like this, it will not create session ID. Session ID not created means it will not allow to access implicit session object. So after writing this line, these all we cannot write. Session methods are there, no? HTTP session methods: get ID, get creation time, get last access time, get max inactive interval, invalidate, set max inactive interval. Those all you cannot access if you write like this. That means in your program session required, then don't write this one. Not required, then write. Okay. Ninth one is EL ignore case. Is EL ignored? E capital, L capital, I capital. Here. True or false? False is a default. Is EL ignored? EL nothing but expression language. I'll explain. So JSP EL, we'll see. JSP expression language. In further sessions, we'll see. Is EL ignored? Equal to by default false. Ignored false. That means, is it ignored or not ignored? Now, is EL ignored? By default false. That means, is it ignored or not ignored? Not ignored. That means it works. If you don't want, you have to write true. Okay. Is EL ignored? Equal to false. By default false. Suppose what you can do, you can write true. If you want false, no need to write. Default is false. Page is EL ignored equal to true. Then it will not allow to access expression language. It will not allow to write expression language. This statement indicates web container to ignore expression language. Then expression language ignored. So write it. This statement indicates web container to ignore expression language. In JSP. This statement indicates web container to ignore expression language in JSP. This statement indicates web container to ignore expression language in JSP. This statement indicates web container to ignore expression language in JSP. Then expression language doesn't work. By default works. What is expression language? In further sessions we'll see. Expression language by default works. If you don't want, you write this. Okay. 10. Is thread safe equal to either true or false? False is default. What is that? I'll explain. See, suppose google.com is there. Some thousands of people, they'll send the request. Crores of people, they'll send the request to Google. All requests at a time processed or one by one processed? At a time or one by one? At a time. One by one means you need to wait half an hour. Okay. Because crores of requests. All requests at a time processed. By default, multi-threading is there. By default, multi-threading is there. If you write is thread safe equal to true, if you write is thread safe equal to true, if you write, it will allow one by one. Nothing but in Sowlets also I didn't explain this one. Suppose if you write like this, example, page is thread safe equal to true, if you write. Now this statement indicates web container to implement jakarta.sowlet.single thread model interface. In a converted Sowlet. This statement indicates a container to implement jakarta.sowlet.single-thread model interface in a converted Sowlet. So then converted Sowlet implements like this: public final class demo underscore JSP implements single thread model jakarta.sowlet.single thread model. So public final class demo underscore JSP implements jakarta.sowlet.single thread model. So then class created like this. This Sowlet allows to access only one thread at a time. This Sowlet allows to access only one thread at a time. This Sowlet allows to access only one thread at a time. So if you write like this, this interface implemented, once if it is implemented, only one thread at a time can access it. Actually 99.9% cases this is not required. By default multi-threading only required. Very rare situation this is required. It is nothing but in core Java synchronization. Synchronization is studied, that type. but this interface implemented, it allows one by one. This Servlet allows only one thread at a time. Yeah, synchronization. So by default, Servlet is multi-threaded. If you want to make it synchronization, you can use this. Okay. So by default, is thread safe equal to false? If you write it true, then this interface implemented. If it is implemented, it allows one by one, only one thread at a time. Divided into three categories. JSP elements divided into three categories: scripting elements, directives, actions. Scripting elements 4: scriptlets, declarations, expressions, comments. Okay, these 4 you studied. It is nothing common. Scriptlet, declaration, and expression, you have seen programs also. Directives, there are 3 directives in JSP: page directive, include directive, taglib directive. Today you learn only page directive. See, in a page directive only 10 attributes are there. So you have seen attributes of page directive. You have seen total 10 attributes are there. First one, import. Second one, what you studied? Language. Next, what you studied? Buffer. Next, what you studied? No need to write, already written. Buffer, auto flush. Next, error page. Is error page. Error page. Next, error page. Next, content type. Next, session. Next, is EL ignored. Next, is thread safe. You observe 10 attributes are there, but whatever they given default, that is only we use maximum. Now import. How many packages implicitly imported? 4 packages. What are those? Java.lang, Jakarta.Servlet, Jakarta.Servlet.HTTP, Jakarta.Servlet.JSP. These 4 implicitly comes. If you require other than these 4, in that situation, this is required. This is most of the times we use, because we use other classes also, other packages also. In that situation, we'll write this one. Import attribute required. Language. By default, which language? Java. Will it support any other language present? No. Then default is Java. So this attribute is not required. This attribute is not required. We won't use. Buffer and auto flush to efficiently, if you want to use your buffer memory. In that situation, we use buffer, auto flush. Very rare situation, because nowadays 64 GB RAM, 128 GB RAM also you are using. So buffer, auto flush also not required. Is error page, error page. It is exception handling related. So it is like a try block, catch block purpose. So this is we use. Content type we use. Session by default created. That's what session equal to false not required. Session true only required. Is EL ignored. It is false. We require false only. Expression language should allow. It will allow by default. Is thread safe? False. False only required, because multi-threading only required. That means maximum what we use, import statement we use. Next to this one we use. Next to this one we use. Remaining all we won't use. It is by default false. By default true. Session by default true. We require true only. Is expression language ignored? False. We require false only. Is thread safe? False. We require false only. That's what these are not required. And this buffer efficiently, this is not required. This language by default Java, this is not required. So these 4 attributes only we use very regular. Remaining all we won't use. Suppose in this one time.jsp program, here if you want to import the package, so what you can do is here you can import. If you write java.util like this, error comes. You can import. How to import? Like this. Page import equal to java.util.star. That's it. Now see, right click, run on server. Time.jsp. See 537.7. Now with importing a return. Previously without importing you have seen yesterday. Okay. Write this program example. So like this you can import. So we imported a package with page directive. Is it over? We'll see continuation tomorrow.